Hello Aquarius, I am Ulrich, I'm a Lenormand card reader, and today we will do the financial card reading for the sign of Aquarius for the month of January. As always, we will do 4 financial card readings for the sign of Aquarius for the month. And these are based on the natural elements in your astrological chart, or for some of you, on your time of birth. These basic elements are air, earth, water, and fire. Now, the 4 objects that you always see on my table are directly connected to those elements. So you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current situation. However, if the object and the related video does not match your first choice, please check the other videos that are immediately connected in the same session. I'm sure one of the 4 will feature. Anyway, the matches represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. Also, I want to add, if you have questions, you can always post them in the comments below, and as soon as I have time, of course, I will answer them. Anyway, Aquarius, here we go for your financial philosophical card reading for the month of January 2022. Hello Aquarius, and welcome to the water group for your short philosophical financial card reading for the month of January. As the first card here, we see the card of youth. What does this card tell us? Well, you probably know the famous diction that says, boys will be boys and girls just want to have fun. Probably you have used it yourself to justify some financial recklessness in the past, but it probably cost you some, and that's why this card is here. Some of us, they suffer from our financial outburst, regardless of person's age, cash management and optimization. It requires a certain form of maturity, and this awareness is perfected as we get older. It's the normal circle of life. However, those who are able to quickly control their consumption habits, they come out more strongly favored compared to the peers here. So this card tells you to reflect over a few ideas, compare your situation to those over your peers, your colleagues, and then ask yourself the question, are you already mature, or do you still have spendthrifts, or are you already wise, and do you already control those outbursts? Because this is the card about outbursts. Remember, this card tells us we are never too young to be financially mature, and we are never too old to change financial behavior. If you have the advantage of youth and at the same time you are financially mature, this card tells you that your efforts soon will be greatly rewarded. And if you have the assets of being older, wiser, and experienced, use those abilities in your advantage. Enjoy life's little gifts with moderation, and also for this group, the rewards will follow soon. The next card is the cards of our needs. Each individual is unique. We are all different. We are all distinct towards from each other here. And the same, of course, it's also applies on our daily life and our existence. And this card asks you, are you aware what are your real needs? So this card tells you to compare what is in your current situation fundamentally necessary, and what is optimal that you actually need. It tells us to analyze our current condition. Here we need to distinguish ourselves with this card from what we are obligated to buy and what we desire to buy. This is about the difference between the two. So here this card asks you to make a fair and precise analysis of your situation, and see what you believe to be your essential expenses. But maybe these expenses that you consider necessities are maybe rather unnecessary. Could you have done without them? This is what this card asks you. If you catch yourself on frequent basis that you do incidental purchases, if you are able to avoid these, you will be able to quickly improve your financial situation. And as the first card told us here, you will be financially less reckless here. We need to take some distance here. We need to avoid certain surpluses so we can add up some funds that have a real purpose in our life. This is a card that wants to makes us conscious about clear decisions that we need to make. And if you avoid incidental small expenses, you will be surprised how much money you save, and also how much more you will enjoy the luxury purchases that you have in view for yourself and that you put in a certain planning. So this is the card about planning and balancing ourselves out and avoiding incidental purchases. The last card is actually close connected to it here. This is a card reading that is very tight about budgeting here and becoming aware how we use certain budgets here. Here, this card, the card of the budget itself, then, if we want to achieve certain stabilities in our life here, it requires a form of leadership here. This is what this card tells us. It requires planning, as the previous card told us. For some accountancy and managing budget, it's an impossible task to achieve. For others, it comes natural here. If you are a person who have the habit of budgeting and maybe something is out of balance here, this card asks us to inquire in yourself what has gone wrong. This is also the card of and also to work on your weaknesses if you can find them. This card is also about unforeseen expenses. For instance, sometimes this means that these people have plans for the future, for adjustments, maybe adjustments to your house, maybe buying a new car, maybe something expensive here. And this card tells us that you need to foresee an additional 10%. This is what we are seeing here. Sometimes here, this is a big flaw in management here. People calculate what they are gonna spend, but they forget to incalculate like unforeseen. So, and this card is also about that you need to foresee certain shortages if you have big expenses, or maybe you're planning something, you need to foresee here an additional 10% what you are about to do. So here, this card tells us here that we need to be careful. Also, this is the card of paying cash. If you see that you never control what you spend, this card tells us also it's an easy thing here, an easy trick to pay cash. Why is cash payment more advantage compared to cash to card payments? Well, it's actually easy. You withdraw the money, you put it in your wallet, and if you hand over the money to the cashier, you will see it causes you a pain reaction in your brain. It's not like actually that you get a headache, but you get the point. You realize that you spend the money and you double check it because you watch in your wallet and you see the money actually disappearing out of the wallet. So you are very aware of what you're spending. This is what this card is also about. Try to balance yourself out, learn this old trick, this old way for paying cash, because we have no sense if we pay with a credit card. We just put it on the machine and the money is gone. We don't check, we don't calculate. But with if you pay cash, you actually make the calculation in your head the old-fashioned way. So this is what this card tells you. It is a card for helping you financially prosper more. Sometimes the old ways can help us, even though banks and financial institutions and credit card companies, it would spoil their wet dream that we pay back the old-fashioned way, because of course it's the ultimate goal by controlling our finances in any way they can. So here this card is that you need to personally control your balances, get an overview for the unforeseen, and determine a certain payment that gives you an advantage on the long run. Check out your really needs and be careful with your spending. This is what we see here. So Aquarius, this is all for the water group for this month. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. But you can also check out the short love card readings that we do. And we do, of course, the extensive Lenormand card reading for work and general here. You can find them all on my channel. But of course, it will require some of your time. Anyway, I want to thank you for the time that you spend on my channel. And I'm sure we see each other on my other videos. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye for now. Hello Aquarius, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air group for your short philosophical financial card reading for the month of January. As the first card here, this is the card of the old-fashioned way. This card advises us to pay cash again. How we pay cash? Well, actually, it's quite simple. You get the money out of the machine and you put it in your wallet. But why was the this card you to do exactly this? Well, mostly if we do payments, we use our credit cards, we put it on the machine and the money is gone. We don't calculate, we don't check it afterwards, we don't check what comes from the bank, what do we spend monthly, weekly, daily, we never check it here. And this card wants you to get more control over your budget here. If you compare later on, you will see there is a difference. And this card tells you if you want to regain better control over your finances, pay cash only. Psychologically, if we hand over money to a cashier or to a person that we pay, it makes a kind of pain reaction in our brain. So it means that we actually calculate because we experience. Also, we see it. We open our wallet, we get the money out and we pay to the cashier. So we see that the money is getting less. And you think, my God, it's gone again. This is the trick that is there. This is the psychological effect that you want to achieve. With a bank card, you don't have that. So you will see, as the money disappears, out of your wallet, the banknotes, you will calculate. You will make more easy these connections between those two payment methods, and you will prevent more from buying unnecessaries. This is what we are seeing here. Of course, it's no coincidence that traders, banks, they gradually want to eliminate paper money. They want to support a society where consumption is the highest good. They want us to constantly increase more, consume more. It's their wet dream to get total control over humanity. And also this includes, of course, the very strong payment methods here, but because these affect us all, and they regain more control. But if you want to control yourself and you pay cash, you will see that you get back in charge here. This is what we are seeing here. This card wants you to take control of your wallet again and don't lose track of your expenses. So take charge of your wallet, pay cash for all your purchases, for instance, for 1 month, and look at the difference. And you will see that you regain control. This is what we are seeing here. And this card asks you to take up that challenge. The second card that we see here is the card of balance. You see the balance here in the middle. And it's also about payments, salaries here. Mostly this card tells us also that people in this group probably they're expecting or they are waiting for an increase in personal salary. Probably you think about your current situation and you think how you can progress within your company, maybe also get in a higher position, but also financially how you can progress. But this card tells us that those things have two sides. This card tells you that an increase in salary not necessarily makes you financially better off. This card tells you not to be sure of that. Regardless of what we earn, or annual monthly salary, what actually improves our financial condition is the ability to adjust our expenses regarding our income. So here we see that an increase of salary will have no positive effect if you proportionally increase your expenses, which is unfortunately with most of us the case here. On the other hand, if you take full authority and control over your expenses, it's imperative here to learn to limit yourself. So invest your efforts here to manage yourself better in your daily expenses, find a balance here in relation to your earnings. You can then focus on an increase of income, and if you do, you will have a double effect. If you balance it out, you control more and you get an increase, you have a double win-win situation here. So you will have a better chance here of improving your overall financial situation and put the scales in the other side. The last card that we see here is the card of achievements or accomplishments here. And with this card, it tells us for the near future that probably some of your efforts, if you implement these, that you will have your situation will bear some fruits here. It's by simple daily actions, what we just mentioned here, that you will see changes. You will see result of your hard work, your control, and you will learn how to appreciate your small victories, and you will see actually that you have a financial advancement. Of course, it doesn't mean that we are successful in relation to the whole society, but we should also not compare ourselves to others, but we should here highlight the positive transformations that you are able to apply on regular basis. Also, this card tells us what if we have some plans on the long term. Can you make some changes? Can you make some improvements? Also, we need to think about can we make some changes of certain payments that we do now, or should we let go of certain payments that are no longer necessary? Sometimes our society changes and we are still paying for things that we no longer need. So here we need to modify also. Of course, this will take some management in the beginning, but you need to think over this path that you are going. Write down your accomplishment, write down, check what your expenses are, your monthly expenses, see what you no longer need. For instance, if you have subscriptions on certain magazines, instead of taking the paper version, you, for instance, can take the online version. It saves you 50%. These are small savings, but it's with these small accomplishments. It's just an example that I'm giving here. On the long run here, it has a bigger impact here. There are many things here that we can change. The society changes. Things that were very important in the past are no longer important. Same, for instance, with a landline of a telephone we no longer use. We can just let it go because most of us use always the cell phones now. Anyway, it's the amalgamation here of all these changes that will create a lasting change and make a difference in your eyes and, of course, in your life, and especially in your wallet. So you're on the good track here. This card tells us the changes that you made so far are positive, but you need to double check everything, and you will eventually get there. So keep persevering, keep up the good work. So Aquarius, this is all for the air group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are immediately connected here. And you can also check if you're interested in the love card readings, and we do, of course, monthly Lenormand card readings. Some are extensive, some are shorter. You can also all find them on my channel. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you for your time, and bye-bye for now. Hello Aquarius, and welcome to the Earth or the Stone group for your philosophical financial card reading for the month of January. As the first card here, we see this is a very positive reading, so I will interpret the first card also in a positive way. This is the card of the holidays, Christmas, Easter, and Valentine. Probably this points that if you make some spendings during the holidays, or you gave some gifts to your loved ones, you kept your budget fairly under control, because we have the next card here of the felicitation, so the congratulations next to it. So it means you kept everything quite tight. You budgeted quite tight with the holidays. Here, probably you realized that the real gifts are somewhere else. It's not in presence here. Of course, we can buy some chocolates and we can buy some small electronic gifts for our loved ones, or we can buy a toy. But here, this card is about realizing that some things are more important than big gifts. So you probably have this fairly well under control, because else you would not have the next card here. I just want to add here to this card, the most precious gift that we can give to a loved one or a person close to us is time. This is actually the most precious gift in our current society. Why? We all work, work, work. We are busy, busy, busy. And the problem is we have no more time. So this card sometimes tells us also to take some time out with the people that are close to us, with our loved ones, with people close to us. So I wanted to add that also, that time is the most precious gift. And of course, you can take the chocolates along. The next card here is the card of congratulations. So it means that you come in a fairly stable situation in your life. It means that you make financial progress here. Probably you are carefree for a while here. Now, this is what we are seeing here. You are captain of your ship. You're in control. You are in calmer waters now. But also this card wants to tell us and that we need to be aware that our battle for finances is never over, and maybe it never is. So every day we must sail a very cautious course here. But here this card tells us to improve yourself more if you can, but also it tells us to take a few minutes of your time and realize why you come so far. Probably you have traveled a long road financially. You had some difficulties in the past, maybe severe difficulties, and now here you are in more stable situations. So this card wants you to compare your current situation with that of 1 month ago, 6 months ago, and 5 years ago. This card wants you to smile. It wants you to take a break, give yourself a little rest, regain your breath, appreciate the road, the long road, the difficult road that you have been traveling. Probably it has been a long road here, and each problem has brought you a little bit closer to you where you are exactly now. So savor today, celebrate those accomplishments, whatever they may be, or whatever importance they may have for you. So give yourselves the gifts of a well-deserved break, and applaud for each obstacle that you have overcome. The next card that we see here is actually also a very positive card. This is the card of luck. This card tells us also that money don't bring happiness, but of course we need to admit that we all need it. According to the pyramid of Maslow, we must first meet our basic needs, shelter, food, and a home, of course. But then, of course, there comes the aspiration to self-fulfillment. We also need to think here that most material things don't cover our deep, essential, basic needs. The car of the year will not bring you the joy for 10 years. So here this card tells us not to confuse basic needs with what we actually need. Of course, we all need to eat, we need shelter here, and it goes without saying that everybody would like to have more. We like to travel more, we like to spend more, but here this is about the feeling of completeness and the guarantee for this. So take a break, think about your pursuit of happiness. This is the card of pursuit of happiness. It all depends, what is your perspective here? Do you associate it with the standard of living like a king? Are you in the middle group, or are you easy satisfied? This is about figuring out where you are and where you want to be. Also, it tells us if money were so strongly connected to joy, why are so many of the super rich unhappy, and some of them also depressive? So we need to consider this, why this is. So money is essential, of course, to meet our basic needs. However, once they are fulfilled, our quest in life, it depends, of course, on our personal perspective. So this card tells us to enjoy the little gifts in life, appreciate the people around you who like you, who love you, who you love, and give them some of your time, because this is what the real deal is about. So Aquarius, this is all for the Stone Group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this philosophical financial card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other 3 that are connected here. I'm sure one of the 4 will fit you. You can check also the monthly love card readings, the financial card readings, or the Roman extensive card readings that I do for you. Everything is available on my channel. You just check it out. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time, and I'm sure we see each other in my other videos. Thank you, Aquarius, and bye-bye for now. Hello Aquarius and welcome to the matches or the fire group for your short financial philosophical card reading for the month of January. This is quite a good card reading that we have here for this group. The first card is that you probably are about to receive a bonus in your for of some kind. Maybe it's a bonus on your work, maybe an annual bonus, maybe some money is coming to you here. Here this is, or you already received it here, and here but mostly this is that it's about to come here anyway, or it may be a gift also from parents or whatever, or from relatives here that you are receiving, or people. Here we see that and we know that these amounts are of course often welcome if we receive a bonus, but the question that about this card is what you are about to do with it. Here the problems with those unexpected bonuses and sums is sometimes we tend to spend it even before it reaches our wallet. We already incalculated in our budget, maybe for traveling, maybe for expenses, maybe for balancing out some credit cards, whatever it is, or we have foreseen something here. But this card tells you to approach this in a different way now here. This card tells you soon you will receive this amount, but instead of spending it, put it for a period of time in your savings account. If you are able, just put it in your savings accounts for 6 months, let it there and just look at it. If you do so, you will be able to reflect. So here we take a break from spending. We need to think here, this card tells us to do exactly with this money. We need to see and find the optimal use of it, because we have the card of resilience here, and maybe in the future something is coming up. So we need to be aware that we could have some unexpected things here coming. So here, be careful with this money. Use this bonus wise if you can. Avoid the impulse of immediate spending and save it for a rainy day. The next card here is the card of that we need to compare ourselves, our situation, with our parents, our grandparents, people, generations that come before us, and people who are due to this virus and other financial crises in difficult financial situations. This is the card that we probably are in a very good condition compared to other people. What does this mean? Well, if we compare ourselves with our grandparents here, also they have cleared, many of these grandparents have cleared the path. They have made sure that we are in a better financial conditions. They have laid the path that we have insurances now, that we have certain securities. For them, it was different. For instance, they had a large family, mostly one source of income. One of both parents worked, and there were 4 or 5 children. And even when they were in retirement, they lacked certain things here. So if you think about that and you make a reflection about this situation, you realize that you are better off at this moment than they were. So here we need to be aware of the situation here where we are, and you need to distinguish yourself from them and also from certain peers of our generation here. See where you are and see how contented you actually should be with what you have now. Also, we need to add here that previous generations, they had no access to credit cards. They just earned, and when the money was spent, there was no more. So they needed to focus very strongly on the house payments. There were no herbs, there were no exotic herbs, there were no trips to wherever. The home loans was mostly the most important thing, and see that they put their kids through school. This was mostly the most important in their life. So compare yourself to others, realize that even if you experience some less unpleasant times for the moment, you are still in a very good position compared to those who have very few now at the moment, because also a lot of people now in several countries are in very bad conditions due to those so-called viruses that are put upon us. So reflect wisely about this. Some people have nothing at all. So if you compare yourself, you know that your comfort compared to them, it has no possible parallel. The last card here that we see here is the card of resilience. Here we see that maybe for the future there could be some insecurity here. We never know when our situation would become unstable. So here this card tells us not to stay passive. We have the first card here of the bonus here, so it might be related here. So prepare yourself. Maybe a life lesson is coming here. If something is coming to you here, we should prepare ourselves. So here we should prepare if the times would change. It's not necessarily so, but this is a card of resilience that we need to be able to bounce back. So here, don't focus on bad luck or things to come here, but rather see it as an obstacle then for moving forward. But nevertheless, we need to prepare ourselves if something should come to us here, because this is the card of resilience here. There might come some irregularity to you. There might come a storm to you in the future. So be prepared here for certain challenges in life and use your money wisely. We never know what is coming to us or where it's coming from. Anyway, Aquarius, this is all for the matches or the fire group. I hope you get a little bit wiser out of this short financial philosophical card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. If this card reading don't fit you at all, please check the other three that are connected here. I'm sure one of the four will fit you. If you are interested in love card readings or Lenormand card readings with another deck, we do very extensive card readings also about work and general life. You can find them all on my channel. Anyway, I want to thank you for your time. And I'm sure, Aquarius, we see each other in the other card readings. Thank you and bye-bye for now.